said that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. What up, nerds? Hope you're all doing well. Ooh. Oh man. Oh man. I am the man. I am. I am the man. It's been a while since I got copy. Dun, 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 dun. What up, nerds? It's been a while. It's actually only been like 12 hours. 12 hours. Less. Based, actually. So, Alpine Linux is looking like one of the more options when it comes to having a secure Linux desktops. Obviously, tweaking is going to be one of the more, I would say, like tweaking is going to be more involved, especially when it's not done for you. But at least you know when you do it, it's being done hopefully right. I actually switched Alpine to a rolling release, which we've all discovered that rolling releases are sometimes much better for security because they get updates faster. But there might be a higher attack surface in perspective because it might add more complexity or whatever. This is the same thing with like the kernel, like LTS kernel versus more stable kernel. They got their pros and cons, and you kind of have to come to the conclusion which one is suited for your threat model, etc., etc. That's the beauty of privacy and security. It is tailored. There are probably some non-negotiables that are like anything else. Like, should you it's like the debate between should you or shouldn't you use a VPN is kind of like one of those things that like you can it's depending on your threat model and who you are transferring the trust of your traffic to. But I would say a non-negotiable is like doing forced disk encryption, something that is very easy to set up in the beginning and pretty much relatively has the best safeguard against any threat actor that's trying to obviously unlock your laptop. Now, you could, in theory, combine this with something called Buzzkill. Buzzkill is a USB drive that you plug into your device, and when you detach it, it kills the computer. There's an option to add for it to wipe. Hey, what did you say on Twitter that got you banned temporary? It's kind of funny actually. So I was commenting back and forth with someone, and I think it was I mean, I would say it was pretty satirical. Like we were like maybe memeing. I'm not really a serious like internet person. I don't get mad at people on the internet like in real life because it's like such a waste of time and they could be bots and I don't know them. There are people that say definitely retarded things that maybe question their intentions. But I wish I would have. I think I did screenshot it. It was I said something, and then the person said back was like, "I'm gonna drink beer and I'm gonna drink like a bunch of butter or something and eat steak." And I'm like, "Rip your arteries, like R.I.P. your arteries." You know what I mean? As like you're cooking your own art, like you're like I don't know how to explain, I guess, like internet sarcasm or like maybe like internet humor, but like when someone's like, I'm gonna drink this bottle of like vodka, I'm explaining the meme so it's less funny. But like if someone's like, I'm gonna drink all this vodka, you'd be like, rip your liver, rip liver. So X took that as like, I'm telling him I'm going to rip out his arteries. X was like, hey, this violates it. This looks like it's harmful content. I could have fought it, but I think that's kind of like bitch behavior because you are then asking X or whatever or Twitter. You're asking Twitter to appeal to your you're like asking them, being like, hey, I'm sorry. Can you please let me back in? No, I just took the ban. I think it's fucking retarded because I believe it was like a grammatical acronym mistake. But again, this is why you shouldn't rely on like platforms for like your income. You should diversify your income as much as possible because if you for people, I mean, I'm just thinking of like this how this happens to like people on Twitter that get paid by it. This happens to people on YouTube that get paid by it. They lose their channel and then they lose all of their income. It's insane. I think we're at the point in the big 2026 that it should be universally accepted that you should never, it doesn't matter how much money a platform offers you, you should outright reject it. And you should take as much multi-level income streams as possible and never do an NDA contract. It is fucking retarded. In 2026, there is no reason to solely rely on one platform for your income. I do not actually even feel sorry for people that lose their income this way because there is almost like a universal acceptance that YouTube will choose when they want to ban your account. Same thing, and they're not obligated to keep it. It's a platform. It's not like and I'm not agreeing with YouTube, but it's a platform. It's a business. They don't have to do business with people. People can complain all they want. They can go on the internet and say it's unfair, but that's just how the real world works. Just like if you're a contractor or like a subcontractor in like any job, and they're like, "Hey, we don't need your services anymore. Have a nice day. Fuck off." You can be as mad as you want, but it's kind of like your fault to a certain degree by not diversifying like your income stream. It's because again these platforms do not care about you, they care about advertisers. If you become in their eyes unadvertiser friendly, it's a problem. Yeah, build your own platform is the answer, 100%. And it's not even just building your own platform, it's building your own like identity. Like you want to sovereign yourself as much away from like just imagine relying solely on PayPal. And I get it, like I understand some people have been doing this for 10 plus years. It's not a power company. It's not a power company, but it's also a business, and they're allowed to, they're not required to do business with you. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And I don't think businesses should be forced to do business, should be forced to have creators on there just because of XYZ. That would be insane. That would be in my opinion, me forcing you to hire certain people. That'd be crazy. No one would agree with that in like any form of sense. And learning this just in general, YouTube is a constantly changing platform. They will go to the biggest creator, and they will push whatever is keeping the retention the longest. They're a business at the end of the day, and they want to maintain profitable and advertise friendly. I mean, this is why like certain creators, even though they garner millions of views, they don't care. They don't care how much millions of views you bring. They care that you're advertiser friendly. Remember that put it in the back of your head, because if it wasn't an advertiser friendly model, then GunTubers would be fucking killing it. They wouldn't have to worry about getting demonetized all the time. People like Nick Fuentes, Filthy Frank, maybe like, post early 2010 Filthy Frank, iDubbbz when he used to call everyone like a faggot. Those people would still be doing that if it wasn't a fucking a monetary if it wasn't a monetary problem. Like, and then YouTube wouldn't be demonetizing these people. So like, it's clear evidence that YouTube only, again, cares about advertising, and they're an advertising company. It doesn't make it's not shocking. So I would tell people that are working in this industry and making money off YouTube, definitely take the money. Like, monetize yourself. There's nothing wrong with it. I have a problem with sponsorships. I think sponsorships have ruined the platform, but that's my personal take. It doesn't mean that it's the right take. Always own your infrastructure. Things like YouTube should only be a platform to reach people. Also, YouTube takes money from advertisers for ads, and the money of the ad users to not display ads. Yeah. So like, before I'm not monetized yet. I'm like a couple, like about 100 away from hours away from doing it, from being monetized on videos and like live streams. But you have to remember that before I even became slightly monetized, before I became part of the slight YouTube partner program where I can accept super chats, etc., I quite literally looked at my stream sometimes later and got ads. I asked my viewers in like all over the place, 100% sponsorships equal you getting pimped. Yeah, the problem, and I mean, I have I have my opinions on sponsorships, because I think that it's not just that. I don't think these people genuinely use these products. There are very few YouTubers I understand why they take sponsorships. There's a couple YouTubers, they don't have they don't make any monetization money because they get demonetized all the time. Like, GunTubers do this like quite often, so they probably have to keep it free. I get that. That makes sense, but that's because they're on a platform that just doesn't care about like the Second Amendment or any of that. There's some I've been hearing a lot of controversy with voice actors that do like creepy pastas and stuff and like horror stuff. They get demonetized, and I mean, there was someone I was just learning about that's been on the platform for 10 years, and his channel just got demonetized. 10 years is fucking crazy. And their income is completely gone. I know they were like on Patreon. There are, I guess, some instances I understand where some people take sponsorships, but it's kind of insane. What's up, Billy? It's going good. I'm just like, there's even but like when people come in, they're like Raid Shadow Legends, and like they're a fucking cooking channel. Like, I don't have respect for you. I know you're not playing Raid Shadow Legends, and it's even worse when I would say a platform, they know it's a scam and then they promote it. Like I'm very educated about VPNs. I know what they can and cannot do. I would never take a VPN sponsor. I don't care how much money they offer me. That's why I don't like to put my email out there, because I just know it in my heart. Even small channels that are sub 10,000, they will get their inbox filled. The second they like these slimy companies come across your channel and they see that you're even like, I think I'm at let me see, and I'm not bragging or anything. Like, I don't think my metrics are getting a little bit better because I'm doing some shifting, but I don't care about the silly stuff. But like, I do look at the analytics for like every now and then, like to see like what's my retention, what's my watch time hours, what's my views, etc. But that's not the point. In my lifetime, I've gotten over 2 million views. I got 2 million views on this. Advertisers will see like, oh, they know what they're doing. They're getting this much average XYZ. We're going to reach out to them, tell them to do a sponsorship. Yep, same. Yep, it sucks. Paid partnership is one of my email filters. That's actually, I didn't even think about that. That's a great filter to even have. That's actually based. I didn't even, what a great idea to even like throw out to people that like want to do YouTube for a living. Are Tor and I2B virtual private networks? No, because they're not. It's not virtualized. There's no. Well, I mean, no. It's no. You paying attention to analytics is good. It makes you better understand the audience. Yeah, I think it's good. I don't think paying attention to metrics is a bad thing. It's just I try not to let it get to me because I know it gets to people sometimes. But Tor is more of, I would say, a protocol because it's a protocol and it's an overlay network because actually it's a transport layer. It's transporting your traffic. So I guess you could similarly say it's like a VPN. I2P is more of like an intranet, and it's taking your IP address and it's masking it. I mean, so yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. It's kind of like one of those things that like but like YouTube has a problem, and it sucks because there's good YouTubers out there. I mean, like that do good work, and like they don't go down the evil route, which is awesome. And that's why I would never want YouTube to be my full job, because I feel like that there has to be like a point where you would do it situational analysis, but don't look at it for did we get views. Use analytics for how can I improve when they're clicking off, where is the traffic coming from, how can I do better. um Self-improvement, guys, from Sam Bennett. Yeah, I try to like sometimes like look at it like that. But I'm also part of the YouTube like early YouTube era of like I'm trying to stay very authentic. I don't like editing. Like the last video I did, I edited slightly and it was like kind of gay. But maybe I don't know if it helped with retention that much. I'll have to look at that. I'm gonna I give my videos like 2 weeks to like cool off. Even if they're not getting views, I can just give it 2 weeks to cool off, and then I look at them because I'm not a average poster. I might switch up my posting schedule and might post some more videos soon about something I'm working on. I'm reviewing something called the Goblin Card. It's not like I don't want to make it a secret because it's one of those things that I think people won't go out and spend $350 on something they don't know they're going to do. The Goblin Card is a prepaid debit card that allows you to take your Monero. You send it through a Telegram bot. I believe it's a bot or it's a person. If it is a person, that's cool. And then they convert it to pesos and you spend it. Like it's like you're spending Monero, which is very cool. There's no KYC actually. It's very base, but it's very steep. It's a very steep price. It's $350, and you every 3 years you have to give them $100. So if this company ends up going out of business in like the next like year, I'm going to be kind of pissed. But I've already used it. I've already used it a couple times, and I've had zero issue. I've had zero issue receiving the Monero. Their chat support's pretty like awesome. Like it's very nice. Not obviously not sponsored or anything. Speaking of sponsors, and it's kind of gay that I have to even think about that because I think people are always going to be skeptical when they hear stuff. But the fact that I can take my Monero, send it that I don't own, and I can send it to this, and they're supposed to come out with an app, but they haven't yet, and that's kind of sketching me out. It takes my Monero. You tell them like, hey, this is like the amount, and then boom, I can spend it. I can just go into places and use it, and I think that's going to be like a very good push forward to get people on board that are afraid that they can't use it anywhere. I have a blog that blog post that I'm about to finish in the next like maybe like day or so, where I talk about my experience with it, my Monero stack in its current state. I think it's going to be relatively very easy it's easier now to use Monero than ever. My only issue with the Goblin's card is you are doing a level of trust that this company isn't doing some form of analysis or any how would I say tracking, or if it's like if it's a honeypot to say like, look guys, we found a way to track Monero or whatever. I will say though, they did answer a lot of questions before I even went out and dropped the $350 of Monero that I don't own. Over to they answered that their app will be open source and they embrace people going to hack it. I think that's kind of based. And they aren't trying to make something that is like Apple or like this. It's just a prepaid debit card without having the need to KYC yourself. And I think that is a massive W for the people that are really afraid that Monero has no actual utility. Now, is it converting it to fiat and I'm spending it in the real world? Yes, but it's immediate. It's like within a few minutes, like 10 minutes. That's huge. So that means I can, if I'm in like a country where I don't want my bank to know what the fuck I'm doing, I have this option, and it's really, really a great product. I mean, I tell people go do your own research, vet it vet stuff yourself, and don't take my word for it because my word it means nothing. I'm just a person on the internet. How secure is the Secure Mountain OS? We are getting there. It's so with Alpine Linux, it runs off. One second, I need to grab my beer. And I would say that so Alpine Linux. I mean, in the perfect world, this would be better off to run in CubesOS because CubesOS allows more efficient sandboxing. So you could say that doing this in HVM with Wayland and Wayland actually being virtualized, which is the intentions. Like what they want to do, I mean, this is kind of like a way it would work. Wayland there would be a separate VM that would do all the handling for Wayland. It would pop up the screen. The screen then would be handled by Wayland, which would be a separate machine. And this, in theory, would be more secure because it is isolating the GUI, and it's making sure that you are separating the OS from the GUI. Like it's going to be so far out and it's going to take so much time away from the developers. I'm not even thinking that it's going to be within my lifetime. But this runs Wayland right now. It's running in it. I switched it from a standard release, like a LTS release, to a rolling release. It's going to get updates faster. It's going to get patching faster. Downloading stuff is super fast. I think Alpine Linux is like the fastest, the fastest Linux distro I've used. Like just adding a package, just boom, it's there, and that's kind of awesome. Let's see. There's some kernel hardening we can do. That would do it, and maybe a Portmaster. Portmaster would be good for firewall, so we could do that. We should add Vanadim. And you can actually add Hardened Malloc from Graphene OS to it. You can port it, which is even better. It doesn't work for every application. It's not perfect. Android's obviously immutable. It's more secure. Android's like built with security in mind. It's pretty much so if you don't pick CubesOS and you don't want to run a secure Linux distribution and you have Graphene OS, just use the desktop mode. I need to get a really good compact. I'm tired. Like I don't want to get a big ass screen and all these wires. I need a compact. If anyone knows of a compact way, like a compact what do you call it? Deck, deck where I can attach my Pixel to, and it will give it output display to like a screen that I attach to. Like if anyone knows of a compact way to do that, please DM me, drop a link, anything. I literally can't find one where it's compact, because if somebody made like a way where you could take your Pixel and just put it in a slot and it's like a tablet and it has a keyboard attached to it and it just takes that Type-C and puts the display out and it connects via Bluetooth or something for the keyboard and the trackpad, that would be one of the most secure ways you could run it, because you could put it in the desktop mode and then boom. So if somebody wants to make that and steal it from me and make it and do it, make a bunch of money doing that, please do, because it sounds fucking cool. I'm just not a designer. I'm retarded. But that'd be sick. Having taking like a display, having a slot for a different the phones that Bluetooth. No, Bluetooth's fine. There's no way you could get a keyboard and a display output in Type C. And if someone could fucking figure that out and do that, that'd be awesome. Bluetooth's fine. Bluetooth's okay. You just need modern Bluetooth. Oh man, I'm not a designer, but PCB. I think this is it. I think this is it. Anker Nano USB hub 7-in-1 probably is what you're looking for. Yeah, but that adds more complexity. That adds more bloat. Is what. Now, if it could be trimmed down, trimmed down, sure. Absolutely. But again, that it would be a million times easier just to have a panel and a backing, and you just slide your phone in, locks in, display power goes straight to the screen. That would be sick. No, I don't want to do that. Nope. There was a tool that allows you to do this. There was a tool that allowed you to do PCB design with ChatGPT. Okay, so 1 Bluetooth keyboard, 2 Bluetooth mouse, CB. Yeah. See next part 4 capture card. Yeah. So phone, USB, HDMI adapter, HDMI cable. Yeah, man. Yeah, I have a setup for it. I have a setup for it. The problem is it's too many wires. I want it to be man, I wish I could draw. I can't draw either. Let's see. There we go. No. Okay, so I can bring it over here. So, how do I do this? Okay. No, I want to get rid of that. Can I erase that? Am I done? Drawing board. No. So, say this is like the tablet. I guess I can't fucking erase in this. Who doesn't put an eraser? Where's the eraser? Pencil, star, vector fill. Why the fuck does a vector fill? So what about a wireless HDMI adapter? Never use it, so I can't advise. Wireless HDMI has gotten better. It's not perfect. There's a really good YouTuber that has done some deep dives into HDMI, wireless HDMI. Apparently, they're good. That'd be sick to. So see, here's a tablet, size screen. You would have a slot here that would go your phone, and maybe, and then here's the Type C. Your phone goes in here. It has different ways to like resize it or something. I don't know. And then it displays Graphene OS. You put it in desktop mode. You plug it in. This gives it power and display output. That'd be sick. Then you have a. This is on the back end. So then you have. Please, no one make fun of my drawings, or I'll be sad. Then you have your keyboard. It's just a regular keyboard. Wow, I really did not do good in art school. Maybe I should become a really powerful leader for a nation. So, this would be the keyboard, and then it'd be ideal to just have a trackpad. Like, mouse sounds cool, but trackpads are just more compact and nice. And then you take your phone, you put it in there, like Graphene OS. This works like via Bluetooth. It just connects like normal. And then you just have a normal screen. And then boom, you're tuned. Even if it had an internal battery, like maybe like just a small battery to keep the phone obviously working. The painter was right. Okay. So, then, this is Graphene OS. What's up, brother? This is Graphene OS. Maybe have the screen like, maybe have like this part like detachable, like where you can slide it in and like out very easy, and that'd be cool. Be very basic, very easy to have it secure. It'd be like kind of very similar to running a Chromebook, and Chromebooks are surprisingly very secure out of the gate, very based, very sandboxed. We love that, that kind of thing. Cool. So that's, I mean, like that in an idea. If I can find the way to design that, uh, that'd be cool. Very awesome. Now, let's see. I wonder if that. Let's pop open Tor real quick. I wonder if that. Let's see. Wireless HDMI. Huh. Let's see. Let's see. That would, yeah, this would be very sick to make. Damn it. I guess new egg it is, baby. Damn, they don't like Tor either. Come on, Best Buy. Don't be a bitch. Access denied. Access denied. Wow, they don't want me. But why do these even websites care? Like, let me buy your product. You're getting money. Who cares if bots are buying it? Are you receiving the funds? If you are receiving the funds, who cares? So I could probably do like a wireless HDMI or something. Maybe a touch screen with touch screen laptop with built-in monitor touch screen with HDMI built-in. Type C to HDMI. Oh, someone in China has had to make this. Online store, try not to block Tor challenge, barely impossible, for real. So this would be like the ideal, like something like maybe like this, laptop, touchscreen, and then a way to put, a way to like a way to put the phone behind. Maybe I could 3D print. Like I could have something like this. Why not just get a Pixel tablet and put Graphene OS on it? So the thing is, there is a Pixel tablet, but it's about to be end of life. It's only got 5 years of support. From a security standpoint, that would be bad. Google was supposed to make another one, but they decided not to. And I think the desktop mode would definitely entice people to, maybe stick around and get that very base experience with one device. I wish they would have made another tablet, and I agree that it was super awesome. It's just a problem with Google dropping stuff consistently. Now that the Motorola partnership happened, I'm not a fan of it, but I don't think they should have picked Motorola. That's my personal take, and I have a plethora of reasons why. I think there was better options out there, and I wish that it would have happened with like another company. But if they Google has a habit of dropping stuff. If Motorola decides to make a tablet and they meet all the security standards of Graphene OS, I would have loved it. I love it. I will get it. No problem. I'm not going. I mean, full transparency. I'm not going to switch to a Motorola. It's going to be flagship phones only for right now. It's not going to come out till 2027. We don't know what's going to happen from now till then. And on top of it, I don't care that it's owned by Lenovo. Lenovo is one of the biggest, strongest supporters of Linux, so it's not like it's such a huge deal. They say, oh, it's a Chinese-owned company. I mean, who fucking cares at that point? Like, people can make the arguments all they want. Obviously, supply chain attacks a huge risk, and we should be making chips and manufacturing our phones in America, just from a security standpoint and to secure the nation. independence on the chip manufacturing in general, and I think that's a smart move. But that's just whatever. Um, but in hindsight, there's not really going to be a lot of good options out the gate. Moto does have a history of backing out of deals. Yeah, and the thing is, it's still a year out. I think Motorola was probably the best option because they were willing to put in the work for Graphene OS. From what I read, they were willing to do a lot of the lifting. I think, in my opinion, they should have went with something like OnePlus's fork company called OnePlus's company that forked and made the Nothing phone. I think Nothing would have been a great option. The CEO of Nothing is really okay with criticism. He's willing to listen to people, and I see him very interacted with the community. I'm very disappointed in OnePlus for dropping the love and support they have for the free open source community. They used to be a big proponent of it, and they went dystopian. This is when I was on Calyx OS. This is a very long-winded story, but when I was on Calyx OS, I had the option to install Calyx OS, and then they removed it because they removed the ability to relock the bootloader around the Lemonade launch, which is for some reason OnePlus named their shit after fucking drinks, I think, or whatever. They called their different releases like weird stuff, but it was called Lemonade. And the Oxygen OS, which was a skin and refork of it. Long story short. So it's it's I think people need to chill on the Motorola thing until it's completely out. And they even Graphene OS said that they're not dropping the Pixels until it becomes practically impossible for them to do so. And we're not a part that because we're not Graphene OS is not certified, we don't got to worry about the side the side loading issue. Motorola might have to if it's certified or whatever. If it's an issue with a vendor thing, I'm not entirely sure if it's the OS certification that's the problem or whatever, but I think it is. If that's true, then people should just install Graphene OS, but it's going to be on their flagship device, so it's going to be the same fucking cost. It's not like people are going to get $200 phones to put Graphene OS on. I think people are missing the point. It's going to be, security isn't cheap. Security is expensive. It's an expensive. It's not a return on investment to these companies. They do not care. They don't see the return on investment. They don't see the point in putting money into something like this. That's another problem. I mean, that's its own issue. If it was financially feasible, don't you think Graphene OS would have made their own fucking phone by now? God bless. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you stopping by. It's an OS, so it doesn't matter. The new phone will have a high-end Snapdragon. It'll be a flagship. It will be a flagship phone. Yeah. Which would you choose? FMD from F-Droid or Prey Project for anti-theft protection without GSM service? I would avoid F-Droid if you can. If you can just get it directly from the Play Store or Obtainium or a Crescent store, that would be the better option. But I believe FMD is good because you can self-host it. It's OS, so it doesn't. Yeah, the new phone will have that. Yeah, the memory built-in memory tagging, the GPU acceleration, the ability to run maybe like a full desktop environment is going to be fucking great. FMD. I've never used FMD, but you can self-host it. It seems cool, but I would be careful and avoid F-Droid if you can. Yeah, Obtainium's good. So I know this sounds controversial. I think most average normies and most people should just create a fake fulfilled Google account that has no association with it, and 110% go watch my video because I show you how to I tell you how to do it. And then this is how I think people should do it. In this is just from reading how Android does everything, how Google information Google collects from the Play Store account, and relatively speaking, and I personally like installing Graphene OS myself. I wouldn't want it coming installed, but great for normies. Yes, 100%. I don't think they're going to though. I don't think they can. I think they just install. But it's going to 100%. But for the people that don't know how to verify packages, don't know how to get fast updates, I would say 100% Google Play account. Then after that, Graphene has two different phone. Yeah, I think it's great. I just think they picked the wrong vendor. I think it's a good move. They just don't want to have so many vendors that they have to maintain because they have to obtain these phones to make sure that testing and like everything goes good. This is why it's bad to have multiple vendors. Their real solution has always been these vendors need to just secure their systems themselves, and it's completely possible. Graphene OS isn't unique. This isn't like like a special project or they have special super smart people. This is actually 100% doable on all Android operating systems. They just don't want to fucking do it because these companies are lazy and they want to make money. Because security doesn't pay, unfortunately. So, in hindsight, I think people should do the Google Play service for installing apps because they don't know how to vet it. Yeah, they said they would take on more vendors as time goes on. Yeah, but they probably want the vendors to just get their shit together. I mean, again, they can just all these vendors can do it themselves. They can harden it themselves. They can make sure that Android is getting its updates as fast as possible. They have 100% control over a lot of the things that Graphene OS does in general. But I think Google Play services, then a Crescent Store as it garnishes more apps with App Verifier, and then Obtainium with App Verifier, then F-Droid at the last, and you should avoid the Aurora Store. It's garbage. You don't know where the packages are coming from. There's no way to securely know that the packages are coming from a trusted source, and you could be risking yourself getting actually a malicious package and degrading your security over the long term. This is the same thing with F-Droid. I only use the Aurora Store to play games, TNUC, on a VM. Still wouldn't trust it. The Aurora Store is terrible. You don't know where their packages are coming from, and you don't know who's signing them, and that is the core problem. I did a lot of reading on how Android does app signing, why app signing is important, how it works. I've talked to the people in the Graphene OS community, like in their rooms, and they kind of explain it very simple that Google knows you entered the store. They don't know that you exited, if that makes sense. Like they know what apps come in and they know that they're signed, and that's about it. Like it's a forced verification. This is coming from the developer. Later, Billy. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate you. And then the Aurora Store is kind of like you don't know who entered the store, you don't know who signed off the slip, and you don't know who exited. This is a fundamental issue with all these people. No GMS. What do you mean? Oh, like Google mobile services. There's so many apps that don't need the Google Play services to work. You can get most, if not all, apps to work without it. You don't need the Aurora Store to do this. Glad I found this channel. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Did I hear a titanium butt plugs? That's funny. So I'm glad. Yes, Graphene OS has hit the peakness of being able to have another vendor. 100%. Not going to take that away. I just don't like the vendor they picked for my own reasons. I think they should have picked someone else. But I'm glad that someone decided to work with them. 100%. And even in hindsight, Graphene OS, like I'm on alpha. I'm on Graphene OS. I'm on alpha, and I have the security release, abbreviation for Google membrane service. Oh, you don't. So 90% of almost all applications, I've tested this with like send me applications. If I like I said, if people want to send me applications that they don't work on with Google Play services, please send them to me so I can see. I mean, or if an app doesn't work for you. And and actually, Graphene OS doesn't even ship with Google Play services like installed in the beginning. So if you actually want a de-Googled phone, that's how you get it. And I would say even you could even go what's the word? You could go numberless. Me anti GMS. Well, the good thing is, well, don't use micro G then. Don't use micro G and don't use the Aurora Star. The Aurora Star uses Google services. It has to. Where do you think it gets the applications from? If you're anti Google, if you are anti Google services, then do not use the Aurora Store and don't use micro G because they quite literally use Google services. They rely on it. So does Lineage. People always want to be like anti Google, but they don't realize that like it's kind of hard to avoid them. Like we're on a platform that uses it. We're on a platform that uses Google. People use Google DNS without fucking knowing. Google's everywhere. It's not. It's not avoid Google. It's avoid bad products that try to mask. They try to take this idea that you are not using Google when you are. That is, in my opinion, a million times worse. It's 1,000 times worse. 100 million. You like the funny thing is like people are like I'm anti Google and they like then they go and use Lineage or like they use E with micro G and it's like my brother in Christ, I hate to break this to you. Notifications. I mean, a lot of applications actually don't need Google services to work. To Note has proven this. Signal has done this. Molly has done this. Unified Push has done this. There's ways you can. A lot of apps use their own sometimes built-in notifications. Sometimes you don't even need Google Play services to get notifications to work. That's how good it is. I think Google has on the forefront. This is going to sound crazy, but I need to do some micro G versus Sandbox GMS. Sandbox GMS. What do you mean? You'd be like smoking crack to think micro G is better. Micro G lags behind full patches and updates. It lags behind full security patches and updates. It's not Sandbox, which is gay. And there's no comparison to the way. So here, this is a very easy thing to explain, and I like explaining it to people because it got explained to me once, and I had like an autism moment. Micro G in Google in how Graphene OS works is it takes the sandbox environment and makes it the Google Play services work with it. It doesn't have any extra permissions. It doesn't have any extensive out of touch permissions. So the Google Play sandbox services work with Graphene OS's sandbox environment. And because of that, MicroG run VM app, Android run Android. All right, I gotta update my MS DOS 3 something. You run MS DOS? That's funny. But yeah, but you're using if you're using MicroG, you're using Google. You are by definition using services and API endpoints that use Google. So you're not avoiding it. You're actually using it in even more insecure manner. It doesn't matter if you run it in a virtual machine. That's irrelevant. You're still using Google, and you're using it in an insecure manner. That's not actually sandbox. You don't have to add these extra like arbitrary. I'll be back, Arnold. I'll be. I don't know if I can play that. Oh man, would I get a copyright strike if I played that? I wonder. Interesting. Don't you have to? Don't you have DOS 3.5 in order? Don't you have to have DOS 3.5 in order to have TCP/IP? That's a good question. I'm not ancient like you guys. Good question, Freeldo. Nice finding you. Peace out. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. MS-DOS TCP/IP provide is a network protocol that allows MS-DOS systems to connect to the network using TCP/IP. It includes features like support for DHCP, DNS resolution, enable function. Oh, based. Thanks, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Comment below later. What's your favorite type of yogurt for the engagement? Run game turmeric mode like VPN plus VM app plus Tor. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. I mean, you can use. I mean, VPN plus Tor is people have like a really like negative view of it. They have like this negative view that like Tor, like using Tor and a VPN is like the fucking demon. There is probably some level of tiny fingerprinting that it might leak to, but if you're I would only do it with Mulvad, if that makes sense. It would just be insanely slow. Like I can't imagine how slow it would be. Dot 5 was patched that came out. I worked in a factory one summer and networked a bunch of industrial equipment. Some ran 3.0 and I had to update 3.5. Me King Anonymous, who to not when you're on YouTube, loser. Oh, okay. That's a crazy factory that oh yeah, I forgot factories do have to connect to the internet now. I guess. Interesting. I've never touched MS DOS at all. The closest, well, wait, hold on. Maybe like one time. Maybe like briefly with somewhere, but I feel like I've never like I remember the original Google going on Google originally, like when I was younger, that was kind of crazy. Everyone in the VPN Tor argument always comes back after 30 minutes. What if Tor gives up my IP? If you have a threat model like that, you shouldn't be using your home. Yeah, this is my answer to all of this. This is always my Sam. If I could get that on a T-shirt, if you have an extreme level of threat model, get off the internet. Get off the internet and get off the internet close to your house. I had to connect to them on the LAN, not on the internet. I set it up so engineers could send the G code directly to them. Oh, interesting. Oh, LAN as in like local area network. Yeah, local area networks are kind of cool. Go back to after 30 minutes. What if Tor gives up my IP? It's so funny. But if I could get anything on a T-shirt, is if your threat model is this high, like if you think you have Edward Snowden level threat model, get off YouTube and stop asking questions. You should be somewhere else. And I do hate um the like look, there are threats out there, and there are nation state threats, and there are exploits that 100% exist that are very schizophrenic and psycho, and you would never in a million years think that this is even remotely possible. I've seen people do extract passwords from RAM like via sound because RAM makes a certain sound when it's logging data. I've seen people do like I've seen MIT students do it with light bouncing off the fucking walls because the light is reflecting different because our vibrations are different. I'm behind Fufa 2.0 account on Katsuku. Just tell me you're using what's that Kodochi Linux, the worst Linux on Twitter arguing about everything is compromised while tweeting. Yes, the worst people. We all know this, that metadata is the government doesn't need your signal message to be cracked. They just need the metadata. Just like anything else, metadata is king. It is the ultimate gotcha. There is no argument about it. Metadata fucks everyone. OPSEC mistakes fuck everyone. This is a universal thing that I think people should agree on. You don't need Edward Snowden level types of threat model to understand that metadata is the biggest problem. It's the hardest one to fix too. You have to change your habits. You have to be constantly changing your ideology. You have to constantly be changing a lot of things. You have to be adjusting to your environment. If you don't do that, you're gonna get fucked. I generally do not care about stuff like that level. I care about advertisers. I don't like ads. I don't like advertisers. I don't like my data being sold. And because of that, I try to adjust my threat model to that and my OPSEC to that. That's simple. I don't give out my real email address when I purchase stuff. I use alias names everywhere I can legally do so. I mean, just tiny things like that. People think that it sounds crazy. I was stupid and forgot to delete the metadata. And well, I mean that's such a common thing. People using like their email address from high school, running a dark market, dark net market vendor, and it has your first and last name in it. You know what I mean? That's what like there. You can look at like OPSEC failures to improve your OPSEC. It doesn't again have to be the extreme. You can just do these things to protect your privacy in general. Everyone at the end of the day has the right to privacy. This is why you have blinds on your window. This is why you have a stall on the door. It's kind of like the bathroom analogy. We all know that people are shitting in the bathroom, but we have stalls because no one wants to see that, and you probably don't want people to see you wipe your ass. And that is like the best way I've looked at it. Everyone that says, "Oh, I don't care about privacy," well, start shitting in the streets and then come back to me. Take off your blinds, take off your windows, like take off your doors. let people see everything, every email you send. They don't. They won't do it because they know it makes them uncomfortable at the end of the day. That's the reality of it. If your life was actually being literally exposed all the time, you would quite literally be uncomfortable all the time. If your work knew all the shit you talked about your boss, you would be uncomfortable. This is why you do it to your friends. You don't do it directly to your boss. This is why you have group conversations that are separate from other people. This is why you whisper when it's a sensitive subject. Everyone has sensitive stuff they want to hide. Everyone on the planet has sensitive information. They're going to retry Roman Storm in the fall. I'm not aware of that. What's that? Oh shit! Oh, they're going to retry. Are you? Oh, retry like retrial. And this is a perfect example of someone writing code that wanted a solution. All they wanted to do is to be able to take their ETH and donate to somebody. I think it was like a political organization. Uh, it's a person that wanted to donate to a political organization and they didn't want ties to them. And that's the same thing with Monero. What if you want to donate to somebody that other people don't like? And again, it's none of their business. Case number, if anyone's interested, yeah. And it's sad too because I think people should have the right to donate. If you're a private citizen, you should be able to donate to whoever you want. It doesn't matter. It's no one's business. You should be able to donate to whatever organization you want. United States versus Storm. Hmm. And the sad thing is, again, not only that people like imagine imagine you taking your money and putting it towards a good cause and you getting arrested or ridiculed for it. Imagine if your family member is in a legal problem and you need to send them money quickly, fast, and if no one needs to know who donated it to you. I think that should be an option. It's different for politicians because my tax dollars are paying for this fucking loser. So I should know where all their money is fucking going, and they're a bunch of cocks, and I hate them. Let's read this. Hacked the CBT school at IBM. Don't admit your crimes here, brother. Let's see. Okay. Sealed indictment. As the sealed indictment counts, blah, blah, blah. Rule 5. Okay. Oh. This is the whole case. United States versus Storm. Attachment 4. Let's go to the bottom. Letter U.S. Roman Storm addressing order granting motion to withdraw appearance. Roman Storm, upon the reading, the finding of motion withdraw. Let's see. Indictment unsealed as to Roman and Roman Storm. Okay. Main document. Order. Upon the application in the United States by the United States Attorney for the District of New York, it is found that the indictment above to caption action is currently sealed, and the United States Attorney has the office applied. something Google Forms. It is further ordered that the above caption indictment be assigned to. Let me see if I can get a synopsis. I'm retarded. Roman Storm is the co-founder of ContainerCash and was charged with a conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money transmitting business, among other allegations related to the money laundering and sanctions. Which carries potential sentence up to 5 years in prison. As now, Storm has been convicted of conspiracy theory to operate an unlicensed money transmitting business. The jury was unable to reach a verdict on the more serious charges of money laundering and sanctions violations. Storm faces a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison for the charge that he was convicted of. This case is significant to raise the question about the legal responsibility of software developers in crypto space, which this is kind of gay because, like, why only 5 years? That's kind of insane, an insane sentence too. As of now, Storm has been convicted. Huh. I wonder what he's. He's going to prison, right? Like he's going to get sentenced. Like, there's no way he's beating this. Let's both use AI ducks to cheat on the CBT exam. I mean, there's no way he's like once he gets this close to federal, right? It's impossible to beat this, right? I would like to watch the case though. That'd be interesting, especially when it comes to the fact that he was just doing software. Maybe this will explain it. How did Tornado Cash get caught? The co-founder of Tornado Cash, Roman Simon, was caught due to the involvement in operating an unlicensed business in illegal transaction, including money laundering for criminal. The activities were to determine. But what got them caught? Sanctions imposed on August 22nd, the U.S. Department of the Treasury blacklisted Tornado Cash, setting its use to laundering over $7 billion in illicit funds. That could be like a false number, anyways. They could just make up a number like, oh, they did laundered 7 billion funds. I mean, that's clown town right there. And including those linked to North Korean cyber criminals. Indictment unsealed on August 23rd, 2023, the U.S. Department of Justice unsealed an indictment against Roman Storm and Roman Samsonov. They were charged with operating an unlicensed money transmitting business and failing to implement anti-money laundering controls. Storm was arrested on the same day, and the indictment was unsealed. He was later convicted of conspiracy to operate unlicensed money transmitting verdict. During the trial, the jury convicted Storm on one count, but deadlocked on the more serious charges related to money laundering and sanctions violations. Ongoing legal issues. Fuck AICC. Yeah. Founder of Tornado Cash crypto mixing service convicted of knowing the transmitters. While customers who engage in untraceable transfers of cryptocurrency, the defendant and his co-conspirators created a core feature of Tornado Cash, paid for critical infrastructure to operate Tornado Cash, promote Tornado Cash, and made millions of dollars profits from operating Tornado Cash. Tornado Cash advertised to its customers that provided untraceable, anonymous financial transactions, and Storm continued to provide this service with knowledge that Tornado Cash was transmitting large volumes of criminal procedures. As proven at trial, Storm was personally aware of numerous instances where criminals were transmitting proceeds, cash totaling $1 billion in criminal. That's so funny. Guys, he transmitted $1 billion, and we didn't get any of it. We didn't get any taxes from it. We're cooked. Storm designated Tornado Cash to generate profits for himself and his co-founders. Oh no shit! You ain't gonna do this shit for free. This is why Monero's base. It does it for free for you itself. With the FBI publicly attributed to the sanctioned North Korean criminal organization Lazarus Group, Storm continued to transmit these hackers' funds even after the public. The AI often uses Momentum, Duck.ai, and Lumo AI by Proton. Storm 36 of Auburn, Washington was convicted of one count of conspiracy to operate. Mr. Clinton praised the investigation work of the FBI. The maximum potential sentence in this case. Interesting. Well, guys, you already know. Don't fucking do your own free and open source option with fucking money laundering. Based. All right, guys. I appreciate everyone stopping by and engaging with the comments and engaging in the chat so that YouTube knows I'm a real person. I appreciate not only that, I appreciate you as the viewer. Thank you for everyone stopping by. Make sure to also like and hype the video so that YouTube not only knows I'm a real person. I love all their policies. Nothing is wrong with them. They're the best platform ever. They're the only platform to ever need to exist. I don't want competition. And comment below your favorite ice cream topping. Mine is Big Nuts. We love Big Nuts in this house. I'll see you guys in the next one where we will discuss more secure operating systems, maybe live from Tails, and look out for the blog post on some things that are coming out and possibly a video coming shortly. See y'all later. Appreciate it. Much love.